Well, yeah, certainly. I mean, it was our fault. We made a mistake. The spotter said it was clear. It wasn't clear, and, you know, I didn't want to tear my car up, tear his car up either. I respect everybody, and I demand respect. And, you know, I apologized to the guy when he came over the car, explained to him what happened, and then he took it to another level when he started calling me an idiot and whatever else. And I don't appreciate that. I'm not going to take it. I told him how I felt. I called him out. He didn't show. You know, and so, you know, I'm good with it if he's good with it, but I'm not going to be disrespected by no means.
Yeah, I guess I had a dinner date at Applebee's last night that I didn't find out until it was too late. It's a shame. Love their riblets and boneless wings, but...
All right, folks, welcome back to Meet Me at Applebees, your number one unrefined motorsports podcast. It's Brien here with Rob and Ashley, and we have Pocono to talk about this week. Some dirt track stuff, as always, and right now we are currently watching Mr. Dirt Track USA from Lebanon Valley Speedway on DirtVision. So, folks, how are we doing this week?
Well, aside from Stewie getting around Yankowski for second here, I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, True Love?
I'm doing pretty good. I was watching Jersey Shore, but they made me turn it to this dirt race instead.
Made you.
So.
Get out of here.
We have all the TVs in the corner of this Applebee's tuned into DirtVision, so thank you to our waitress for allowing that to happen.
Yeah. I will say it absolutely reeks in this Applebee's, though, because someone forgot to flush a septic tank last week.
Oh, yeah. Let me let me get that taken care of real quick, and we'll do it. I'll be sure to do it again, but first.
We were just in it too long last week. Totally forgot about it.
It's a double flush.
Breeze.
Yeah. Hell yeah, really setting the scene this week. This is great. Yeah, my apologies. After we ended the episode, it was like almost 1 in the morning, I think. I was getting in bed, and my eyes opened, and I was like, fuck, I didn't flush the septic tank. God damn it. So, thank you for reminding me. Otherwise, we would have sat in filth.
Just stewed in it.
Yeah. Speaking of filth, everyone was at Pocono this weekend, but particularly ARCA, which is the filth part.
Yeah, I didn't watch a literal second of this race. Not one, so no idea what happened other than Gio won.
I figured y'all wouldn't, so I suffered through it.
Thank you.
Yep,
all 60 laps.
Yeah. This is good news, though.
Yeah, probably the only good news of the race was Lainey Bice on the pole. She became the 7th woman to ever win a pole in ARCA. So
that was a stat that I was not expecting.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, sweet Lainey on the pole. Good for her.
She also, I think she finished 5th, so I think this is her 3rd top 5 in a row. So
hell yeah,
that's good.
Pocono's a tough place to do that at as well.
Mm-hmm. I don't really have that many notes. Yet again, Bobby Dale Earnhardt wrecked out on his own on lap 5. Gavin Bichelle was in 2nd and had a flat. He did rebound and finish 2nd later too, so good for him. Let's see, the only thing that I thought was really dumb is the current points leader, this kid named Jake Bowman.
Mm-hmm.
He was in 2nd at one point, and he came up on a lap car, and there's very clearly the lap car was running low. There's very clearly not a lane under them. There wasn't even half a lane under them. But this Jake kid dove in under this lap car at full speed, so much so that he lost control of his own car, doored this lap car, went through the grass, and then fucked his day up. So.
Oh yeah, it's a little PlayStation move right there. I like that.
Yeah. Probably the dumbest thing I've seen in ARCA in a minute, which says a lot.
Wow.
I think that's really about it. Daniel Dye was in this race again. He was trying to wreck people for 6th place. And then Gio won by 14 seconds over 2nd place.
This is pretty much the same notes as last week, if I remember correctly.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
This is his 4th win out of 5 starts this year. And even though he's not running full time in points, he's still 9th in standings. So.
Nice. Little win for the folks back home in Massachusetts. Appreciate that.
A SARCA race. I think they're at Berlin this weekend. So.
Hell yeah. Beautiful
I
facility.
won't be there. Will not be there.
How far is Berlin from you?
I'm gonna look that up right now. I can't imagine it's more than 3 hours, but who the fuck knows? Michigan, it could be 7. So let's look here.
That's true.
Nope, that's Berlin.
Germany.
No, it fucking pulled up.
7 days away.
235 miles, so it's like 4 hours.
I'd say that's worth it. That place is great.
4.5 hours. Yeah, no, I'm
Not for ARCA, but
Not for ARCA.
fuck no, not for ARCA. Yeah, we'll talk about Berlin a little bit later on in the show. And
yes,
the
we
septic
do
tank. Yeah.
We do have a little bit to talk about there.
And then the Busch race, I got home from Claremont midday Saturday. Sat down on my couch. I was just telling these guys before the show, it was too hot in Massachusetts and too humid. And our air conditioning units are not in yet because we're window unit people. And yeah, I fell asleep within about 45 seconds of this starting. Corey Day wrecked. I made a joke about him wrecking, and that was it. I woke up hours later. So you guys are going to have to fill me in on this one.
Well, I did watch it. I don't remember a ton about it because there were a lot of wrecks. I remember that. There were definitely a lot of wrecks. It was pretty chaotic.
There were a lot of wrecks. There was a wreck on lap 1, a wreck on lap 8. Those are both pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
We got some pre-race notes here before we get too far into it.
Oh, yeah. There was a couple things I wanted to mention that happened before the race started. They talked about Jeb Burton got married the previous weekend, and that Harrison Burton officiated it, and it was catered by Golden Corral, which is...
Fuck yes.
Oh my God.
NASCAR
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Did we get a popcorn shrimp count?
I didn't, but if I ever run into Jeb Burton, I'll just have to ask him.
That's a good question.
I mean, I guess it makes sense to have a buffet cater a buffet-style wedding, I'm assuming.
Dude, Golden Corral, that's so sick.
They also had another little segment that they did where Joey Chestnut was hanging out with Sam Mayer, and Joey was going to try to eat 7 hot dogs in 40 seconds, which is a lap at Pocono, while Sam Mayer was going to try to eat 1 in that time. And Sam could not get through his hot dogs because he was so disgusted by the sounds that Joey's throat was making as he was eating his 7 hot dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason they don't mic those guys up at the hot dog eating contest.
Yeah. And the other note was, before the race started, they were talking about how with this race, Jeremy Clements ties Kenny Wallace's record for most O'Reilly Series starts with 547.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And which one, I will say that doesn't sound like that many starts for the Busch Series, because like you just hear of like guys like Sam Ard and Jack Ingram and stuff, you know, driving forever. But then also he had Kenny Wallace on the side of his car.
Yes.
Yeah.
As part of the paint scheme.
Very cool. Yeah.
Wearing his own
Quote, unquote, he had-
Herminator shirt.
Yeah, but he had all white hair and looked 90 years old. It didn't look like Kenny at all to me. The Jeremy image looked exactly like Jeremy, but Kenny looked more like Albert Einstein or something,
A
maybe.
doc from Back to the Future.
Yes. So, those were all my pre-race notes.
Well, good for Jeremy. I've always had a soft spot for him. Glad to see him still out there.
Let's see.
Yeah, where did he win that one time? It was Road America,
He's
wasn't
won
it?
twice, apparently. Don't ask me where.
It was a road course. I remember being really excited about that.
I have
Let's
no
see. What is
memory of
Wikipedia? I'm looking it up right now. He has won at
Mid-Ohio.
Road America and Daytona. Those are his 2 wins.
Yeah. That's right the first time. Good for Jeremy. Hopefully he gets one more and the next 1,000 starts.
He finished 16th.
How many did Kenny win, actually?
He won 9.
Well, got a ways to go there, big man.
Speaking of making starts, Natalie Decker was in the field. She didn't do
her
anything.
3rd start this year.
Yeah, now that she's given the truck away to her husband and is now focusing only on Xfinity or Busch or whatever.
Well, that dude's going to be fucking flying through the ranks at this rate.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't really do much. I mean, she made it through the first stage and then she blew up. So, you know, at least it was her car's fault, not her own brain melting down this time. So, you know, good for her.
I guess, yeah.
And I'm trying to think, again, there were a few more cautions towards the end of the race, and I remember there was one that essentially caused, it wasn't the green, white, checkered, but it was the last 2 laps. But I do remember Sam Mayer was probably going to get Justin Allgaier until that last caution came out, and then he just couldn't pull off a good restart, and Allgaier got his 5th win of the season after teasing retirement, and now he is already the first driver officially locked into the chase with a 250-point lead.
Yeah, a good 6 years out from the playoffs.
Yeah. He got it, too, in that beautiful Carolina Carports Dale Senior scheme.
You know, I think every time I try and tune in and watch an Xfinity or a Busch race, still neither of those are the sponsor, an O'Reilly race, and I actually watch the ending, he steps on his own dick or blows up or wrecks. And every time I haven't watched one, he ends up winning. So as a Justin Allgaier fan, maybe me not watching this at all is the way to go here.
Yeah, so more naps for you.
Yeah, take a few more naps.
Yeah. This was his first Pocono win, so he's now won at 21 different tracks.
What a dog.
Yep. Good weekend for the old guys.
Yes.
That is true.
So, well, Gio, he might be older than...
Except for... he might be older than a couple of people in the field.
Yeah. I mean, there are like some 65-year-olds out there running Arcus, so...
Yeah, that's true.
Ignore him.
And yeah, I guess that'll bring us to Sunday, which... So weather, again, was in the forecast, and again, because of Amazon, NASCAR was able to move the race forward 2 hours, which apparently they were even considering starting at 11 o'clock, but they the 1 o'clock start time worked out perfect because...
God doesn't love us that much for an 11 o'clock start time.
Which, again, the 1 o'clock start time was perfect because it started raining less than an hour after the race ended, so couldn't have timed that better. So good job, Amazon. Good job, NASCAR. Please, TV networks also do this because rainouts are awful. So
yeah, it's not. Excuse me. It's not out of the USA. Was it USA? It might have been USA. NBC has done this before. I know that they moved.
Yeah, it's happened
a couple
times, but
so it's not out of the question. But yeah, I love a good 1 o'clock start time. Let's get it over with. Let's go.
Yeah. Which didn't really help me a whole lot because it was rainy and shitty here in Ohio, so it's not like I could do a whole lot else with my day afterwards. But, it's still nice to get it done early, I suppose. Yeah. True Love, what are the pre-race notes? Because I didn't watch much of it. Other than I did see the clip of the Cartman guy.
Yeah, I think that happened in the middle of the race randomly for some reason.
That was during the race.
Oh, it was during the race. Okay, I missed that.
A couple quick things. They did say before the race it came out that Bell's crash was 63 G's, which is crazy. Brad Keselowski was the desk guest this weekend, which kind of worked out for him with how his day went. They did say it was another sellout crowd, so this makes 4 races in a row. Pre-race, though, there was that fan with the sign right behind the booth that said, Logano eats corn on Cobb the long way, so
yes, which he
that was front and center. Yeah.
That's good.
And then Brien really enjoyed the command.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, they had
Pennsylvania Dutch touristing I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Ben Franklin and Betsy Ross gave the command, which they didn't show on TV, of course, sadly, but thankfully NASCAR posted the clip of it, and the kid playing Ben Franklin looked an awful lot like Cole Custer, so
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, just for reference, again, not to minimize Christopher Bell's hit, because that's absolutely massive in a stock car. The highest recorded G-forces ever, and I knew this was higher than Bell's, but I didn't realize it was this much, was Kenny Brackett, Texas, in 2003. You guys remember this? The IndyCar race? 214 Gs.
That doesn't seem like a real number.
How is that possible?
It was how fast he spun. He got airborne, got into the fence, and the car whipped around. I'll send you guys the video in a little while. It's fucking nuts, but either way, anything over, I don't know, 2 or 3, it's pretty intense. So.
Real quick live update from Mr. Dirt. Second place, Mark Johnson just fell out of the race.
Oh, wow.
Don't know what the hell happened there because I can't hear it, but now it's just Stewie and Kid Rocket up front, so hopefully Alex pulls it off, but we'll see here in a bit. We got 20 laps to go.
Yes, we do.
Back to NASCAR, though. So this race, I mean, again, this was a race for, the real hardcores because it was very much a strategy race. Pocono is a big, long, flat track. Not the most exciting racing, but also not horrible. At the same time, like, again, I don't, when I know what the strategies are and what's going on, like, I can enjoy it, and I enjoyed the race.
And kudos to Prime for actually staying on top of it in a meaningful way.
Yes, that's also true. Trying to think, there wasn't really, the only wreck, I mean, Zane Smith spun early in the race when he was contending in the top 10. Basically, he almost crashed into Denny Hamlin, which would have been a very bad look. And to save Denny, he kind of wrecked himself coming out of 2.
Closed down a couple of Long John Silvers in the process.
And yeah, fucked my fantasy and FanDuel up because I had him in my lineup. But it's okay because I won money other places, so it's fine. But then there was also the a big-ish wreck on the front stretch involving Logano, Keselowski, Bubba Wallace. I think a few other people. I just can't think of who right now.
Zillage, Barry, SVG, Gragson.
There you go.
The guys who usually wreck.
Yeah. And yeah, Austin Hill kind of started that too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
No, not kind of. He did.
He did it.
Well, he's learning. It's his first season.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, towards the end of the race, I mean, again, there were a couple different strategies playing out as far as, gas and tires and stuff. But so let's be honest, going into this entire weekend, we all kind of thought it was Denny's race to lose. Everybody kind of seemed that way. That just kind of seemed like the vibe. He gets his third straight pole of the season, or of the last 3 races.
Yeah. It's not like he sucks at this track either. So
no, I mean he's got this was his 8th win, but technically he's had 9 because one of them got taken away a couple of years ago. But
on my birthday.
There you go. Nice birthday present for you.
It was.
You like Denny. That's not a good present.
I know, but Elliot got the win that day.
Oh, well, okay, fuck.
Dark,
all right, never
dark
mind.
day here in the basement.
Well, speaking of Elliott, though, I mean, he was... the Hendrick guys, I mean, 3 of the 4 Hendrick guys seem to have speed. William Byron kind of made a late charge and almost seemed like he was going to battle with Denny for a minute.
Yeah. Larson was up front for a little while.
Larson was up front for a bit.
You could just tell, though, it wasn't going to stick.
Yeah.
Like, he just got tracked down so quickly. And, like Denny looked like he had an extra 50 horsepower or something. It was crazy.
Shut up.
Oh, no, I'm not insinuating anything. It's just what it looked like. Like, they're just so much better.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, just Toyotas in general, you can say that. Because, I mean, hell, John Hunter Nemechek led like 40 laps.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Was,
I mean, him and Eric
unexpected.
Jones had great days again.
Yeah, Legacy is figuring it out, and they've been doing well.
The Hootie check is cleared.
Yep. But yeah, the Hendricks seemed like they had something, but not exactly. But yeah, towards the end, Bell ended up leading after the final pit cycle, and which obviously was surprising after his wreck, the week prior. But at the same time, it was a deal where they didn't even his crew chief was like, we're just trying to save gas and get a top 5 out of the day, which unfortunately for him he didn't. The Kirk curse got him again as he ran out of gas in the last lap, but he was trying, he was doing his best. Denny caught him and easily passed him with like 5 to go, and obviously that was it. Yeah, Denny Hamlin, 3 straight points wins, 4 straight wins in general. He is now 19 points out of leading, which was
Jesus Christ.
Not something, 6 races ago nobody would have guessed that was going to happen. But he's on, the heater of his career right now, going into 2 straight road courses, which he's just hoping for top 15s out of. But,
and the funny thing about it is that Tyler Reddick's not even sucking.
No, I mean Reddick got a top 5 too, and he too. I mean,
yeah,
that's right. And if he probably honestly would have gotten him if he had a few more laps, just because he was on way fresher tires. So, but yeah, Denny won one of the stages and got stage points in the second stage too. So Reddick, I don't think he got any stage points, so that was the big loss for him. But yeah, going into these next 2 road course races, obviously the points are going to probably shake up a little bit. We were all expecting SVG to win at least one of them, if not both of them. So that'll change things up. But, Tyler's a good road course racer, so he'll probably do better than Denny. So who the hell knows what's going to happen? But
or not. Who knows?
Yeah.
Also, 1 of 2 wins this weekend for Team Minion. The Minions Fire Suit and Victory Lane in Pocono. And another one that set off the whole trend, yet to come in the septic tank.
Well, I should also mention the post-race, Corey LaJoie was like, I've never seen a Minion drinking beer. Well, Corey LaJoie, you've never watched Dirt Late Model Racing then, because...
That's true, yeah. I've seen plenty of Minions drinking beers.
Yeah. We also saw that Minion take a random Jell-O shot from a fan, so...
We did.
Yeah.
But he talked about that. He was like, yeah, it's just in the moment. And he says, it wasn't that strong of a shot, but, he's like, yeah, fuck it, why not?
I do love a good Jell-O shot.
Speaking of beer, Brien, your guy, Chastain, got a top 10 in that Busch Lime car, and I do believe you're supposed to give us a full review of Busch Lime.
That was your homework for the week.
I haven't had it. I haven't even seen it yet, to be honest.
Of course you haven't, because you haven't done the challenge yet. So.
I went to the fucking corner store 2 hours before recording the show, and they didn't have it there.
You asked the nice man for Busch, whatever the fuck.
No, listen. As someone who's drank more than my share of Bud Light Limes, I'm willing to bet it tastes just like that. So I will have a report whenever I find it, but I know it's just going to taste like that. So.
Yeah, the fake lime thing is not really something I'm a big fan of, so... But I'm curious. Sorry, True Love, I cut you off there.
I was going to say that I told him also that he has to mix a Busch Light Lime with a Busch Light apple and give us the fruit punch mix review.
Don't fucking threaten me with a good time. I will do that in a heart. That is nothing to me.
I'm not threatening you. I'm telling you this is your assignment.
I will do it. I will happily do it. I just have to find one. So.
Well.
It's not threatening you. It's just your job.
Well, when you guys will hear the full report when I find one. So. Yeah, that was Pocono. And yeah, anything else before we move on to the next segment here?
Well, I gotta say, Pocono is about 4 hours from me, and I've never gone just because I've heard the fan experiences.
No, I mean...
Well, watching the race, that is kind of lackluster unless you're at the very top. Yeah, you've gone a few times, right?
Yeah. I went to both races in 95, and you just can't see anything because, most of the shit happens on the turns, and all the grandstands are on the front stretch, which is 1.5 miles long or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And it's just, I get that area. I mean, again, there's not too many racetracks around there, and I can understand, wanting to go to a race and going there. But I mean, no, I can't say I have a ton of desire to ever go back there.
Yeah. What I was going to say is that I'm very intrigued by the party scene, though. I hear that is pretty close to top of the board in the NASCAR world. Obviously, Talladega is going to be number one. There's a couple more in the mix there. Watkins Glen is legendary, but also Pocono seems to be pretty far up there. And if I know anything about Northeast racetracks, I would imagine it is. So if anybody wants to go and sleep under a tent or someone's tailgate or something, let's make it happen. I'm curious. I'd go to Pocono.
I'm trying to find Busch Lime near Brien, and I can't use the internet and record a podcast at the same time. So
well, we're about
put the phone down.
We're about to get into the fantasy league anyway. So if you want to run through the standings, I can use my laptop here, and we can try and track that down for
you
him.
do that. We'll switch. Yes. So fantasy league this week, Pocono. Our big winner was driving on Dollaritas. I can't recall who this is. So if this is you, speak up so I know who people are. Second place, Stephen Kent. He's had a good week after stealing Rob's information. And Brien got a top 3. He tied for third with a friend of the program, Jay. So
I very annoyed with Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe fucked up. I was leading the race for most of the time, and then Blaney passing him fucked that up for me. So I still have not won yet this season. I'm very annoyed with that, regardless of where I'm at in the standings.
Maybe a Busch Lime would fuel you to victory.
Well, I gotta give Brien a little credit here, because I'm on the Busch Light website, busch.com, on the beer locator, and they don't even have it as a selectable product on the map.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
it was pretty skimpy on the Busch Light website.
The same thing happened with the Apple stuff when it didn't. I couldn't find it in stores until probably 2 weeks after he first ran that scheme. So it's just not out yet. I still got to go get a couple more Apple 30 racks while I still can before the Lime hits the ground. So I actually like the taste of the apples. They're lovely. So
well, Max Beverage is a suggestion here. Actually, a Biddulph beverage store, and also major supermarkets like Kroger and Meijer might have them. So,
I don't have Kroger's, and Meijers. Meijer is not my preferred grocery store.
Well, you're gonna have to prefer it for to find some more.
Switch your preferences.
There's no Meijers close to me. Giant Eagles are the close ones, so.
No, I got you.
They'll have it.
Yeah, dog shit weekend for me in fantasy. Just real fucking bad. Didn't lose as many points as I expected, but still not great. I think a lot of people had bad weekends though.
Yeah, I mean Brien with the 3, and then I was 10th, and rough week for Rob and 18th. But overall standings really didn't change too much. Little Michael's still leading. Flavortown McLeod is still second. Brien did move up 1 spot to 3rd though. Rob dropped 1 spot to 7th, and I moved up 2 to 8th. So
nice.
The top 5 is separated by like 65 points, and top 3, I am only 15 points out of first place. So very tight battle up front.
Thank Chase Briscoe for that.
Yep, fuck her.
Yeah, this weekend is San Diego, and good luck with that. Everyone pick S3G.
I'm pretty sure everyone's going to have the exact same lineup. Michael McDowell, AJ Allmendinger, Connor Zillage.
Yeah, there's like 8 guys to really choose from unless you're a complete dumbass. So
Daniel Suarez, maybe, since you haven't used him yet.
Cindric. There's a few other guys. All right, so general notes. Unfortunately, yet again, we have to start off with some sad news, but kind of like last week, not incredibly unexpected. But Steve WAID, the editor of the Winston Cup Scene newspaper, very long time, dating back to the 70s, NASCAR journalist, and most recently one of the hosts of the Scene Vault podcast, which I sponsored for a while. He passed away at age 77 from complications of cancer. If you'd listened to the Scene Vault the last few years, you kind of, I think he had some sort of throat cancer because his voice was very affected by that. But nice guy, one of the most respected journalists. I know Jay had nice things to say about him, and pretty much any journalist that ever came in contact with him had great things to say about him. The Winston Cup Scene was the publication for NASCAR news throughout the 70s, 80s, up until the internet came around, really.
Yeah.
I read it all throughout the 90s myself.
Yeah, I got a stack of them sitting behind me. In fact, a few of them came from the Scene Vault.
There you go. R.I.P. Steve WAID, losing another one of the good ones. So.
Yeah, very, very sad news. Hate to lose anybody to cancer, regardless of age. But yeah, you pretty much summed it up. One of the most respected riders out there, and he seems like the type of guy who would give his time to anyone who had a question of him. We all have friends in racing media, and I've seen a lot of different posts and stories from folks, Matthew Dillner, Jay, explaining their stories with him, and they all kind of outline the same thing. And I was some young dumbass trying to do this, and he would take time out of his day and actually give me real advice and try and be a mentor. And there's a lot of those stories out there, and there's not a lot of people who will do that kind of shit. So
yeah, his
impact is pretty long lasting. And like I said, I got a stack of his work behind me, and I'm proud to have it.
Let's see, moving on to some silly season news. Josh Berry will not be returning to the 21 car next year. Definitely another one of those things that nobody's really shocked by. Penske and Ford in general has been off this year quite a bit. Josh, other than Vegas and a couple performances last year, he's really not come anywhere close to that this year. He has no idea what he's doing yet. Nobody really knows.
He seemed just as shocked by the announcement as everybody else.
Well, he didn't necessarily seem shocked by it, but he just, the day it came out, he was in, some sort of media call and just, started talking about it immediately because, it's going to get it anyways. Might as well just fucking talk about it. So,
yeah.
Jesse Love, it's all but confirmed he's going to that car. Every rumor has put him in that car the last few weeks, so I'm sure we'll hear about that sooner than later.
Yeah, it's definitely not Chris Buescher.
Definitely not Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher, thankfully, just re-signed with RFK, which is probably the right choice for him. Unless he was going to get a JGR car, I don't think there's anywhere really that would have been a better spot for him. And he's been with RFK for almost since the beginning of his NASCAR career, so. Yeah. Why leave, especially when he's the top car in that organization right now? So, not really a shock to hear that either. What else here? The in-season challenge that is going to be starting next week at Sonoma, and the brackets opened up this week. Did you guys fill yours out?
I did.
I kind of looked at it. I haven't committed.
Okay. I'll probably play with it a bit after San Diego, but who do you have winning, Rob?
I have Tyler Reddick winning.
Okay, I have Denny winning. But yeah, it was Denny and Tyler as my two.
I'm counting on Denny Hamlin to do his usual give up the ghost kind of thing a little later. He's right on schedule right now.
Yeah, his first matchup, just like last year, is against Ty Dillon, and Ty Dillon won last year on the road course. So.
Well, that's why I'm going to see how San Diego goes before I.
That's fair.
Fully lock in. And also, quick update: fucking Stuart Friesen just won Mr. Dirt. God damn it! Oh well.
Not a surprise.
Anyways.
Yeah, I have Tyler Reddick and Ty Gibbs as my guys at the top here.
Okay. I had Tyler.
Oh yeah, that was really funny.
Priest did post a funny little meme because he's up against SVG at Sonoma.
Yeah,
week, so.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Or who knows? Maybe he's the Ty Dillon of 2026. I hate that I just said that out loud in any capacity. I'm sorry, Ryan. Jesus.
Wait, Ty Gibbs ended up winning it though last year, right?
Oh, he did.
Stopped paying attention.
It was
to that.
Ty versus Ty at the very end.
That's right. Yeah.
Too many ties.
Let's see. In a follow-up to last week, with Riley Herbst shitting on adult autograph collectors, Alex Bowman also in his Athletic 12 Questions interview said pretty much the same thing. Which again, I get that. Like, those guys suck. So call them out at any chance you can because they're awful people.
He specified binder people. Which,
binder people.
Which, I've seen that. Like, it's similar. It's the same thing as showing up with a suitcase of die casts. It's just in a binder full of fucking, cards. Which, funny enough, speaking of that, like, I think it was earlier this year, last year, like, somebody posted a clip of Dale Jr. signing a bunch of cards, but then a couple of them were actually Chris Buescher because, they have similar outfits and look similar at a distance, so that was pretty funny.
That's a funny story, yeah.
Also, speaking of autograph collectors, I guess this happened a few weeks ago, but I just saw the video the other day. Zilich signed a bag of some guy's stepdad's ashes.
That was just this past weekend at Pocono.
Well, I think it just came out, but I think it happened a few weeks ago. But Zilich, he confirmed that it is the weirdest thing he's ever signed.
Yeah, it's gotta be up there. Also, shout out to Noah Gragson, who we're about to talk about at length, but he also tweeted out today that something to the effect of, fuck a wristband, y'all come up to my trailer and sign anything you want, wristband or not, purchase or not. So that's a dog move.
Well, that was on the heels of Jimmie Johnson's doing an autograph signing, and you have to, a lot of them now, especially for the more popular drivers, like Hocevar and a couple of those guys, you have to buy something to get a wristband. Which is fine, I guess, but then also the Jimmie autograph thing is like only die casts they're selling that day or something, which is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
But, that's good. I mean, Noah's not getting the longest line, as long of a line.
He's just trying to drum business up.
Yeah.
And he might get a little bit more after his most recent podcast appearance here.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
So last week, both Noah and Chase Briscoe were on Bussin' with the Boys, or Racing with the Boys, which is a new racing jock podcast hosted by some football players. And it's fine. Like, if you haven't listened to it yet, it's fine. But, the hosts aren't NASCAR guys, so they don't really... They ask some questions that are fun as far as stuff, like, outside of the racing world, but... it depends. Like, I listened to the Byron one sucked. That wasn't funny at all.
Let's talk about Legos for 2 hours.
There was a lot of Lego talk. But on the Briscoe and Noah one, they were asked about superstitions, and kind of like the waxing crescent moon thing, they decided to run with all race car drivers sleep with their right sock on, so if they keep their gas pedal foot warm. Which those guys totally bought. And a lot of people on the internet also bought, which was surprising. Yeah. But also, with Noah Gragson and feet, he was on some sort of bender over the weekend where he was fucking with somebody about selling feet pics, and then he was posting his own feet and just...
Yes, he got a text or a DM from somebody trying to get feet pics out of him. And it started with him just fucking with them. And then it snowballed into him actually workshopping this with the internet.
Yeah. I know we have talked about this a million times on this podcast because it's so fascinating to me. But on this Bussin' podcast, they brought up Briscoe's eating habits. And they did the deepest dive into it that I have seen yet. Mm-hmm. Like, we all know he's a freak when it comes to what he hasn't.
Yeah, no hot dogs.
Hasn't eaten. Yeah. But it really blew my mind hearing him go into depth on it. Like, I knew he only eats, like, chicken tenders, fries, pasta, burgers. That's about it, but
not
he
hot
said he
dogs.
will eat pizza. no hot dogs. He will eat pizza, but only pepperoni. The only sauce he will touch is buffalo sauce. He's never had ranch. He said he'll only eat pancakes if they are flavored, whatever that means.
Like blueberry pancakes.
I guess, but what a childlike answer to say they're flavored pancakes. He doesn't like waffles because he thinks it's weird that you have to butter them.
I'm sorry, what?
He said he had bacon for the first time 2 years ago. He will only eat boneless wings, and he had tomato soup for the first time 2 years ago. They asked him what he ate as a kid, and he basically said he just ate kids' cuisine every night. But on his list of things he has never had, hot dogs, as we knew, peanut butter and jelly. He's never had a banana, never had avocado, ranch. He's never had ham or eggs, and he's never drank milk outside of cereal. Also never had sausage or chili. He said he tried cane sauce one time, and it made him sick. So
he hasn't had the raw milk, which is good. His wife's hoarding that.
Right.
For
And that's why he doesn't drink milk. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, 31 years old.
He knows he's eaten eggs before, right?
I don't know. He said he hasn't.
I mean,
Not
egg
eggs-
is
not
in,
eggs.
yeah.
Not
Right.
eggs by themselves, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, one of the hosts said this guy definitely has cats in his basement. And then Noah proposed that everyone bring in their favorite childhood snack, and one of the hosts said Chase is going to bring in air. So
There's also a lot of talking about pissing in the car and sharding, like a good 20, 30 minutes on sharding.
yeah,
if you
I
wanna
was like,
listen to
this
that.
podcast is supposed to like promote NASCAR, and they spend 20 minutes talking about sharks. I was like,
And somehow, like Noah's
yeah.
talking about trying to shit himself in the car, and he couldn't do it. And they somehow didn't bring up. They're talking about Tony Stewart a bunch. Didn't mention him winning a race while shitting his pants.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing? Come on.
Did I hear something about Zane Smith pissing himself?
Yes, they
Sitting on
said
the wall?
he said Zane Smith during a red flag, and this could be Noah. You know. Going on the first part of the podcast, it could be Noah just
talking
fucking with
shit.
Zane.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said during a red flag, Zane pissed himself in his fire suit while sitting on the pit wall like Charlotte or something. So.
Either way, fucking hilarious.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you know, Noah has grown on me quite a bit just by how funny he is, and it sucks he's not a better driver, because, like, it'd probably be a good combo if he was a good driver and very funny, but at least he's very
and that's
funny.
why, I loved him at JRM, because he was winning all the time and hilarious. But
Yeah.
it's been a rough cup career. And every time I think that I like Briscoe, like he's growing on me, and then I have to listen to every food he's never tasted, and
Hey, listen, you
goes
can't.
straight back down to the bottom of the list.
That just makes him a weirdo. Like, that shouldn't make you not like him. Like, I like him a lot, and yeah,
It makes me want to call CPS on his parents. Some shit that happened 20 years ago.
I mean, it's just one of those things, like picky eaters and. God, don't even get me started on ARFID people. Do you know what that is?
I don't want to know.
ARFID is it's same deal. People who will like have an aversion to eating any sort of foods. There's some dickhead that my friends and I have found on Instagram that he's just like, he looks like the most softest baby adult man you've ever seen in your life. And he just films himself trying foods he's never eaten. And it's like, oh, I'm trying a fucking burger or something I've never had. And he'll like almost vomit trying this food on camera. And,
Is that the same thing as that guy who's only eaten mac and cheese his entire life, or only
Same
eats
sort
mac
of
and
deal.
cheese? Yeah.
How
same
are these
sort of
people
deal.
still alive?
I don't know.
This is why
don't-
Chase Briscoe has no hair.
That's
don't-
not a bad theory. Gotta eat some eggs, brother. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm also a big Briscoe fan, but I do have to kind of put the blinders on and ignore not character flaws here, but certainly things that make me scratch my head.
They kept asking, they're like, well, do you eat meat? And he was like, I eat fillets. And he just kept saying the word fillet a lot. And I was like, does he mean like steaks or
Yeah, it has to mean
fillets?
steak. It has to mean steak. It has to be steak.
Call it a fucking steak.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's my tangent today about how weird Chase Briscoe is. We can talk about Jimmie Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A guy who has eaten a lot of different foods.
So a clip came out over the weekend. I don't know what race was happening at Le Mans, but
What race do you think was happening at Le Mans?
I don't know. 24 hours. Is there a 24-hour one? I'm assuming, right?
Jesus, yes. The 24 hours of Le Mans was this week.
Okay, there you go. So that was happening. And Jimmie Johnson was over there, not for any necessarily official business, but just hanging out. And he got interviewed at like 3 in the morning, and he was shit hammered. Like, just... It was still like a very G-rated professional interview, as far as, it's still Jimmy being Jimmy, but he is so shit hammered.
The words are having a real hard time getting out.
Yeah.
Not
smoky wasted.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that, so the clip that came out, there's no video of Jimmy, thankfully for him, but this clip that came out, all you see is the control room of, the broadcast of the race. And in this control room, there's one guy who's just fucking frantically searching all over the place for something, looking in his pockets, just looking all over this office. Meanwhile, some other guy's just eating a banana while this Jimmy interview plays. And it's just the most insane clip of the weekend, as far as I'm concerned.
It's very bizarre.
Yeah.
An old man with no neck eating a banana.
Yeah, a couple.
This guy digs through his pockets.
Yeah.
And there wasn't I don't think Jimmy said anything about it, but there were a bunch of people that were like, oh yeah, that's Jimmy. Dale Jr. was like, oh, that's Jimmy Jam. That's Drunken Jimmy's Jimmy Jam. Yeah, that's Jimmy Jam. Jimmy Jam's a good time. That's what everybody has said. Drunk Jimmie Johnson is apparently pretty fun to be around, which I can gather from this interview. So.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of Le Mans, Toyota also having a good run there. Didn't qualify so well, but they ended up winning the overall and the hypercar division. Congrats to Mike Conway, Kamui Kobayashi, and Nick DeVries. They won by about 10 seconds, I think. Also got a podium as well.
Were they wearing Minion fursuits?
No, those didn't make it to the track in time. Lost in shipping. Also, shout out to Cadillac for coming in fourth. So that was pretty cool to see. And I gotta say, Le Mans coverage was on HBO Max over the weekend, and it is extensive. We're talking you need 6 TVs to utilize all this shit. It's unbelievable the amount of timing and scoring, and the different class timing and scoring you have, pit cycle data, onboards for 20 separate cars, alternate views. It's incredible if you're a sports car racing fan. I didn't really tune in all that much, but it definitely spent some time on the TV this weekend watching Le Mans. And as I was saying to you guys before the show started, definitely something I'd like to see. I want to go get drunk with Jimmy Jam out in the French woods. While we're talking Europe.
Yeah. Final note, not that we talk about F1 much here, but Lewis Hamilton scored his first win in 3 years, his first with Ferrari. I don't even know where they were racing, but it happened, and he won.
Spain,
so,
yeah.
Spain? Okay. So, yeah, good for him. Friend of the show, Stacy Joy, was very excited. She was texting me all morning about that. And he is now second in the points, which is kind of surprising. But, he's been doing okay, the season, so.
Yeah, very happy to see that. I've never been a Lewis Hamilton fan, but you can't deny his greatness. Yeah. This now means that he's won at every single Formula One team he's ever driven for, and to do that at Ferrari these days is a tall order. So good for him. I think a lot of people doubted his abilities when he got over there. He's an old, washed-up guy. He can't do it anymore. But now here he is. Even if it did come on the back of Kimi Antonelli blowing a motor or doing whatever the fuck happened to him, doesn't matter. Win's a win. And Lewis has further cemented himself as one of the greatest of all time. So congratulations, Lewis.
Yep. Now with that,
straight into the septic tank.
Yeah. So it's where do we want to put the DARF since it's in the septic tank? Anyways,
we'll get to it when we come to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna kick things off this week. There's a whole lot of great racing this weekend. I didn't even bother writing down some of it or even putting the results down because we'd be in here for 2 hours. And since I forgot to flush it last week, we'll try and keep it brief. So we're going to stick to all the things I definitely paid close attention to. Kicking off the week of racing, was on Wednesday night at Muskegon County, the Shale Crescent Dirt Cup. And I mentioned this in the upcoming races last week, but this is essentially an all-star race between the World of Outlaws and Lucas Oil Series, which is really cool. They've never done anything like this before. You do get to see these guys compete against each other, obviously at events like the World and the PDC and all that, but never anything where it's specifically stated that these two series are kind of going to war. They had a Ryder Cup point system against the two series, which Lucas ultimately ended up winning. But this is a really cool event, and hopefully they keep doing this over and over again. Of course, this is at Muskegon County, the Moran family's racetrack. Devin Moran was fast all night, ended up getting quick time, and was going to start from the pole till he blew a motor in, I forget where it was, but maybe it was the King of the Hill. I can't remember. But they had to pull the backup car out, and he had to start from the rear. Again, great event, but boy, do these motherfuckers take their sweet time to get this show going. Just to give you an idea of the format, there's no real support classes. It's just the late models out there. At least I don't think there were. If there were, I didn't watch them. 24 cars, 12 from each series, top 12 in the points, and sans Brandon Overton. And you know who's going to be in this race. There's nobody missing the show. It's these 24 guys. But we got hot laps, we got qualifying, we got all the heats to set the lineups. Then we do a King of the Hill, which was really fun to watch. I do love that style of racing or qualifying, but they weren't really qualifying for anything. It was just for points. I'm not really sure why they did that other than just to entertain me personally. And then after all that and track prep, they decide to do an extended driver intro portion of the show where each guy walks out and waves at the crowd for a good 5 minutes each, even though it's the same 24 fucking guys we've been watching all night. Sitting on my couch like, boys, it's 11 o'clock. I got work tomorrow. We got to get this shit going. But when they did, it was a hell of a show. Nick Hoffman led early, but eventually gave way to a pretty incredible battle between Josh Rice and Bobby Pierce. Pierce eventually got the best of Josh Rice and picked up $20,000 more for his ever-fattening wallet, and so good for him. Was not wearing a Minions fire suit.
It's too bad.
Yeah. More late model racing, this time at West Virginia Motor Speedway. Friend of the program, James Honeycutt. Happy belated birthday, by the way, James. He celebrated that over the weekend by taking a trip out to West Virginia, and he shot me a text immediately. Of course, James is our on-the-ground correspondent to give us updates for what's going on at West Virginia Motor Speedway. I received one from him saying that they are racing at West Virginia Motor Speedway right now. And that's my update, and I said, thank you very much. So, we get happy birthday, James. He's a great dude. Bobby Pierce picked up the win on Friday night. Saturday was the big show, obviously. Friend of the program, Kim Bob and James were out there yee-yeeing and drinking beers out in the parking lot. Their beer drinking did get interrupted by a helicopter arriving, which brought great speculation to who the fuck that was. Our guess was probably the guy from Mansfield who went to his first dirt race last week and dropped $100,000 on it.
This is not what the notes say.
The notes say Boss Hogg arrives via helicopter. Could have been him as well. And I don't remember what the guy from Mansfield name was either, so he could be part of the Hogg family.
It kind of looked like a sketchy landing. It was very close to trees and cars. But
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have helicopter money, so I couldn't tell you where to land on it. But yeah, Tyler Erb was the class of the field on Saturday, picking up $30,000 over Drake Troutman and Hudson O'Neill. Bobby Pierce and Ethan Dotson rounding out the top five. And Tyler Erb was your first Minions fire suit win of the weekend. And as soon as we saw that happen, I believe it was you, True Love, who brought up to the class, I wonder if this means if Danny's going to win on Sunday. And that
could only mean 2 grown men in Minion suits.
Yeah, so that's 2 for 2, and he actually, this is 3 for 3 in Minions fire suits. So good for.
This was also the first time that I learned that Tyler Erb's Minion suit has butt cheeks on the backside of it.
Yes, it does.
Covered in brown dirt stains.
Yeah, he's got some interesting fire suits. That's for sure. And I did get a sneak peek of a couple new ones he's got coming out. And let me just take a look at a photo here. Because I think there's another new Minion suit dropping, but I'm not 100% sure. Give me a second.
We'll say the racing at the new West Virginia was very good.
Yes.
And I'm definitely going to try to make it down there for the World Championships in October. So.
Oh, I apologize. It's not a Minion suit. I won't spoil the surprise for you, but it's just as silly. So.
Okay, can't wait.
Yeah. Maybe he should keep the Minions on there because it seems to be working well for Tyler. That's his second Outlaw win in about a month. So, but yeah, West Virginia Motor Speedway was packed. That whole grassy hill with all the lawn chairs and stuff, it was nuts to butts up in there. So good to see West Virginia get a big crowd. And as Brien said, the racing was fantastic. Multiple grooves. Track never really slicked off all that bad. It was great. I want to get down there. And they got some big events coming up. Hillbilly 100. Dirt Track World Championship.
Oh, when is the Hillbilly 100? I'll probably try to go to that instead.
That's later in the fall.
Okay.
I'll get you the date. We should actually try and plan to go to that because I think my racing season's done by then, and I'd like to see that.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Well, speaking of racing in that corner of the country, let's move over to the 360 Winged Sprint Cars. All-Star Circuit of Champions just kicked off Ohio Speed Week. I don't have results for the first couple of races that happened, but I'm sure Caleb Henry or somebody won them, so good for them. Last night they were at Wayne County, and what an Ohio night we saw. I don't.
One way to put it.
Yeah, these are your people, Brian. So I don't really know how to describe this, but to kick the evening off, the race was delayed for a little while because a guy was walking around with a BB gun that was shaped like an AR style BB gun with a scope on it, threatening to shoot people. So they had to find him, which I imagine was either not very hard or very difficult, depending on who you ask.
He was in a white tank top, just like every other man there, probably. Yeah. So.
But they eventually did get racing going. It was a pretty decent show for a while. Unfortunately, in the B main, there was a pretty serious incident. I don't know what cars were involved. I actually got a phone call as this was about to go down, and I missed all of it. So this is mostly everything I know came from text messages, but there was an accident where two cars flipped. A third, out of the frame of the camera, I guess either broke simultaneously or dove down to the bottom of the racetrack to avoid whatever was in front of them, and lost control and hit three people in the infield. They were all cameramen or photographers, which is unfortunate. And I mean, Wayne County is not a place where there's many places to hide. Sometimes you see little like nooks or areas you see photographers kind of hang out around, but not much of that in Wayne County, just these big tractor tires, and that's about it. And unfortunately, three people got hit. A very lengthy red flag to bring in helicopters to get these guys out of there. I've heard who these guys were. I don't want to say any names on here, just out of respect. It sounds like at least a couple of them are okay. I know a couple of guys were in critical condition. One just had some broken bones, and there was a couple other close calls in the mix. But those guys are all laid up right now, so prayers up for them.
It's strange on the broadcast, though, because like when I heard all that shit happen, I went and turned it on and, scrolled back to the accident. And so, they show two guys like just rolled into the turn two, which, was fine. But then, like, within 15 seconds of that wreck, the announcers totally cut out, and then they just cut to like 45 minutes of crowd footage.
Yeah.
Of just like all the B cameras and stuff just showing the crowd. Like the crowd doesn't leave or anything. And then they go back to racing and pick up from where they left off. Never even mention anything. Like, not that there was any sort of accident or anything. Like,
well, they did have a prayer that was on the broadcast.
Oh, they did?
Maybe you
Okay,
missed that. Yeah, which that one did not have a sponsor like the initial prayer of the evening did, which I thought was pretty funny. But this is where our dart for the week comes from. Listen, stuff's going to happen at racetracks. People get hurt. It's a dangerous sport. Anytime something like this happens, even if it's like a funny kind of incident, we talk about how dangerous it is to be at a racetrack, even as a fan, but especially in the infield, in the pits, down in the garage. Shit happens. You got to keep your head in a swivel. And even if you do, sometimes things happen. It's a dangerous thing to do. It's printed on the back of the ticket for a reason that motor racing is dangerous. But you got a good chance during this red flag, since as Brien said, all they did was they just kind of turned the camera to turn one, and showed the crowd. And, you know, I knew what was going on the other side of it. I was getting text messages, and the internet was starting to alight with updates and speculation and all that. The helicopters were coming in. State troopers are out there. You know, it's an active medical event happening in the infield. And there's just a bunch of people with their little phones out trying to zoom in and film this shit happening on the other side of the racetrack. And that is just the most disrespectful shit that I can... Well, not the most disrespectful I can imagine, I guess. I could probably go farther than that, but it's just so disrespectful to do that. I'd like for you to imagine being in probably the most compromising moment of your life, and then having somebody from 100 yards away zoom in and take like a fucking 6X video on their iPhone 7 of you dying in the middle of a racetrack. For what reason? To sit on your camera roll? To go on Facebook? Like, well, it's not like you're taking it for the family and you're going to show it to them. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
hey, I think you need to see this of your boy or whatever. You know, like, no one's doing that shit. So, like, there's a reason why they don't show it on the broadcast. There's a reason why broadcasts handle events like this. I won't even film a fucking ambulance until I know what's going on. And it's a tough moment for a lot of people. So for you to whip out your cell phone and forget that life isn't Instagram and Facebook, or for just a second, that's fucking dumb. So you guys are all putting your phones in jail for a week. We're gonna, what are those things? Those bags you have to put them in when you go see like Dave Chappelle or some shit. Yeah, we're going to put those in at Wayne County, and you guys will have to turn your phones in. Or just put them in the bucket like you're going through security at the courthouse or some shit. But yeah.
Until the guy with the fake AR BB gun shows up and robs him and steals
Yeah, exactly.
a bucket of phones.
Maybe there's a scam running there. I don't know. But yeah, long story short, don't do that shit. Please don't do that shit. Have some respect for the people that are, again, having a crisis at that moment.
Yeah,
especially if death is
members.
involved, which it sounds like everyone's going to make it out of there all right, but we still don't know conditions or anything like that. So just have some respect for the people that put their lives on the line to entertain you. And that includes photographers, officials, the guy who's holding the flashlight for the other guy. You know, all those people in some way are contributing to your good times. So have some respect for them when you go out to the racetrack.
Yeah.
Anyway, the B main did pick up after that. And they wrecked a few more times before they got set up for the A. But the A main was a hell of a show. Lots of cautions. Track looked pretty rough. That was probably a lot to do with it. Also, these guys are anxious after sitting around for an hour watching helicopters come in. So they were beating the fuck out of each other. Caleb Henry was pretty much the fastest car of the night. Unfortunately, he had a flat right rear and had to drop to the back after he got that changed. Giving the lead to Darian Nadia, Brandon Spitaler, and I forget who else was up there, but there was a few guys battling at the point. But as this was all going on, Caleb Henry just methodically working his way from the back of the pack, and in the final turn on the final lap, he slides both Naida and Spitaler and gets the win. Absolutely electric shit. One of the best finishes of the year and of the weekend, and of a weekend filled of finishes that were absolutely incredible. This is a great short track racing weekend, folks. There was a lot of great shit, which we'll talk about a little bit more of that up next here from Knoxville, because that was also electric. But yeah, shout out to Caleb Henry. That kid's a dog. Always like to see him win, and I'm sure we'll see a little bit more of that as Ohio Speed Week rolls on. Brian, you going out to any of these? They're going to Attica.
Probably not. Maybe Saturday, because the finals are at Wayne County now. But
Gotta go get your tastes. You're gonna bring your fucking BB gun to Wayne County?
I want more of those fries. Just
Yeah.
gonna eat 6 orders of fries.
Yeah, those do look good. But that was a hell of a show. The All-Star Circuit of Champions is always fun to watch, especially now that it's a 360 series and a lot of history there. So always tune in when that's on Flow. You're never gonna have a bad time. The fourth.
If my last name was Spithauler, I think I'd kill myself.
Yeah, it's not great.
That's rough.
This is the first, second, and third time I've ever said that last name out loud. Can't do it. Also, one last point about Wayne County. That announcer is a screamer. Somebody needs to get that guy a cough drop. Felt like my dad was yelling at me or something the whole night. But anyway, plenty more sprint car racing this weekend. The 410s of the World of Outlaws are out at Knoxville for the Chevy Dealers Classic. This might actually be the race of the year in 410s so far. Brent Marks finally breaking his winless streak in the Outlaws after a long string of seconds, thirds. I think it's been like a month where he's done nothing but finish on the podium. Finally ended up getting the win after a crazy battle with Logan Schuchart and Sheldon Haudenschild. That was great shit. Rico Aber was in the mix for a while too, but he ended up breaking with about 5 or 6 to go, something like that. But this race was fucking electric. Knoxville is the greatest, and this is further proof that that's the truth. Speaking of Rico Aber, he did win $55,555 at Eagle Raceway at the Eagle Nationals on Flow Racing. That was also simulcast on Prime. I think we were watching that last week when we did the show. I don't know if we talked about Rico winning, but he picked up a win. Good for him. Always happy to see him take home money and trophies. Let's switch over to the asphalt world. What do you say? Also on Prime and Flow was the Money in the Bank at Berlin, where Taya Majeski administered an ass whooping to everybody. Carson Hocevar also sort of the big draw of the race. I think that's probably why Berlin was one of the prime races, because he was going to be running it. Nice cross promotion with NASCAR. Berlin has ARCA races. It makes perfect sense, and Carson's a star now. And he actually did put on a great show. He led a good majority of that race, but Ty Majeski was just too fast for him. And then he also spun, I forget what his name is, a local Berlin guy. He says he just misjudged it and bottomed out and spun this guy, but he also said he just spun him out because he was blocking him. I don't really know what he... I mean, we know what happened. You can see it. It's clear as day.
He printed it out on Facebook in words. So.
Yeah. The incident itself, he just fucking sent it in there as far as he could and bottomed out a little bit and drifted up the track and tapped him. Whether or not it was on purpose or not, I don't think it really matters, because it's what happened as a result of what he did. And then he ended up quitting the race after that because he didn't want to bend the late model up, which I thought was kind of lame. I'm a Carson Hocevar fan, but
rage quit.
He rage quit. Yeah. He tried to walk it back later, but
yeah, the internet didn't like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. It is kind of lame, you know. As you all know, I feel like I do this every week, the Carson Hocevar Apology Hour. You're not getting it this week for me. That shit's lame. Obviously, he had to go to the back. That's Midwest late model rules. You cause a wreck, you go to the back of the field. He had a fast car. He would not have won. And let's be honest, there's a lot of great race car drivers in that field. They don't need Carson Hocevar to put on a show. Ty Majeski, of course, being out there, Bubba Pollard, you know, big time super late model guys are out there, so they do just fine without.
Jones was on the pole.
Eric Jones, yeah, but we don't need the NASCAR guys to promote it necessarily. But this race was kind of built around Carson Hocevar as being the guy and his partnership with Flo and all that. So for him to kind of back out of that, I thought that was kind of lame to save the late model. Like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, I get it, but like, come on. Yeah. There's a certain responsibility that comes with being a star sometimes, and I know a lot of people are reluctant to embrace that, and I don't know, he probably wouldn't care if anyone said the things that I'm saying right now. Probably doesn't. That's fine, but yeah, pull that shit in the Cup Series, but don't do it in the short tracks, please.
Yeah.
Please don't do that, because you're just giving people fire now. You know, all you did was just make it worse. Now all your detractors have plenty more shit to say, and now the short track people are looking at you like, what the fuck is this kid doing? You know, like, I don't know, whatever.
I wish he would start rage quitting in Cup. I would love that.
Yeah, I think the paychecks are too big to do that, but...
Yeah.
Speaking of anger, the Smack 350 Super Modifieds were at Claremont. I was fortunate enough to cover this race. Bobby Timmons lined up every dick in the house and was just bulldozing them, flattening dicks all the way through the field. Lapped almost all the way through until a late caution happened when third and fourth, I think it was second and third place wrecked. I forget what his name is, Paul Buzzy or some shit. He ended up spinning into the wall, bringing the caution out. And then Brad Babb ended up getting around him with like 5 to go after absolutely dominating that race. Bobby not thrilled about it. Of course, Bobby is the host of the Black Flag podcast. You can probably tune in and hear him curse Paul Buzzy all day, which I will be doing tomorrow morning on my drive to work. But, yeah, what a shame. That was a fun night out at Claremont, by the way. We're now not official members of the Polish club there, but our open invitation has been extended, and we now hang out with the locals. So we also had a USA versus Mexico shot beer challenge on accident. My buddy ordered, I think it was Cuervo and Modelo, and I was drinking a Budweiser and Jim Beam all night. So, yeah, nobody won that one. Let's see here. A third minion has hit the towers.
So this was just in reference to that clip that came out earlier on Flow Racing's Instagram of that event at Slinger where it was something where there's a truck driving around the track.
Oh, the trailer race thing? Yeah.
With an open trailer, and it's a battle to see who can get their car up on the trailer and stay there, and the winner was a truck painted like a minion, so...
God damn, that's amazing. I wonder if that was a last-minute addition.
I don't know.
That's got to be hard to do at a place like Slinger. That banking is serious there.
It looked pretty hard. I've never seen this type of event before, so...
Yeah, that's a pretty incredible clip, and yeah, you're right. That is a Minions truck, so good for him. Let that be a lesson to all you aspiring racers out there. This year's hot paint scheme is yellow and blue overalls, I guess. But
well, you want to win.
Speaking of Slinger, the ASA Stars Tour is going to be there over the weekend. You can catch that on Racing America. All-Star Circuit of Champions. Again, that's Ohio Speed Week. They're at Eldora tonight. I missed who won that, but that race is over. We'll talk about it next week. Also, Waynesfield, Fremont, and not Atomic anymore because apparently they owe a lot of people money. So that place is in trouble. Future home of Amazon Warehouse. World of Outlaws are going to be at Houston's for the High Bank Nationals. That's a big-time show. That's going to be on DirtVision. Definitely tune into that. There is a bounty on the Outlaw guys, sort of, or a bonus, rather, for all non-outlaw folks, or non-outlaw committed guys. I said the word outlaw about 15 times the past 30 seconds and fried my train of thought. There's a bonus if you don't run World of Outlaws for winning that race, so that's going to be exciting to see who actually shows up. USAC is in the middle of Eastern Storm right now out in Pennsylvania. That's going to be on Flow all week. That's always a good show. Dirt Cup is at Skagit out in Washington. That's a beautiful racetrack. You're going to see all the guys who decided not to haul out to Houston's out at Skagit.
You don't want to say the name of the event?
Oh, what was it? One of the nights is the, what was it, Dick Raper Memorial?
Jim Raper.
Jim Raper, that's it. Jim Raper, I knew that. Dick Raper's
What
worse.
you said now.
But it is called Dirt Cup in general.
I have been trying to score a Jim Raper Memorial shirt that fits me for a while. I just haven't gotten one.
Yeah, that's going to be on Flow Racing all week. On the late model side of the world, Lucas Oil is back, and they're going to be at Smoky Mountain for a 3-night stand. World of Outlaw late models are at 141 Speedway, and they're going to be racing at, I don't even know how the fuck you're supposed to say that, Oglis? Ogles? Fucking. Somebody correct me, please. I've never had to say this word out loud. NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour is going to be at White Mountain. Normally, I would go to this event because that track is absolutely beautiful. You can go back and listen to our episode when I went there last summer, and I was really taken aback by how friendly the people were and just how beautiful the surroundings of that racetrack are. But alas, I will not be there because in addition to Claremont, I will be taking a trip up to Bangor, Maine, or Herman, Maine, more exactly, to Ricky Craven's Speedway, presented by Bar Harbor Bank and Trust, for the Granite State Pro Stocks, as well as the Smack 350 Tour and all the local divisions. That's going to be a great show. That's going to be on Pit Road TV as well. There's already a huge entry list for the Granite State Pro Stocks, which is awesome to see. I've heard nothing but great things about RCS, PBBH, BNT, and I'm really wondering how we're going to fit all that on a fucking graphic this weekend. But you can find out on Pit Road TV, post times at 5 p.m., and I'm not sure when the Granite State race rolls off, but watch the whole show. That place is awesome. Formerly known as Speedway 95 for all you old heads out there. Now it's just Ricky Craven's place, I guess. But looking forward to getting at the Banger. Haven't gone that far north in Maine in a while. It's a beautiful country. And if I can't be at White Mountain, I'm definitely excited to be up there. And hopefully I get to shake Mr. Craven's hand because he's definitely a hero of mine. That's it for the septic tank. We're going to go ahead and flush it on down. Be sure to get out to a racetrack this weekend, folks. Get out there. And make sure you flush once you get there, too. Oh, real quick, one thing I forgot to mention about West Virginia Motor Speedway, James Honeycutt did want me to tell you guys that there are no troughs on the facility. Just porta-johns, which is a shame.
It's a bummer.
Yeah, and what a better way to flush this thing down than with that news. Just a fucking 42-year-old man making toilet noises in his basement. That's all this
It's
is.
your legacy. I tried to Google how to pronounce that word, and Google says that there are no search results for how to pronounce that word.
Little Gills?
Yep.
Well, whatever the fuck it is, it's on Monday night on DirtVision, so tune in. Oh, by the way, also for all you folks, I know this second tank's been flushed, but a lot of USAC races on Prime this week, so if you want to watch some sprint car racing and a midget racing, this is your time to do it.
Thanks.
All right, well, now it is time for Video of the Week, and this week we had a fun one, a very easy watch as far as I'm concerned. American Pickers, they were on duty for the NASCAR Hall of Fame. This episode was basically just them driving around to a few stops in North Carolina. I didn't get the name of the curator they were working with, but yeah, they were tasked to find some stuff for the Hall of Fame. So we had Mike and Frank, as always, in the van driving around with Danielle, pointing him what direction to go to. And this episode starts off with them kind of just talking about that, and they're at the Hall of Fame, blah, blah, blah. Danielle gets on camera, and she goes, "What do I know about NASCAR? Danica Patrick is hot. That's about it." Which I'm guessing this was filmed, like, there's no date on the actual episode or on the YouTube video, but probably was like
2011, I would assume.
Yeah, it said this season was filmed 2010 to 2011, so.
Okay, yeah, so that makes sense. Because they mentioned, Bobby Allison going in 2011.
Yeah.
So they have a $7,000 budget to go find stuff. And the strategy they're using is to find old drivers and people involved in the industry, which, of course, makes sense. They're going to have old, interesting stuff. So they get on the road, and, of course, what do they talk about? Drivers pissing in the car. It's what everybody likes to talk about if you're like not even like tangentially involved in NASCAR. Is like, what do they do in the car when they gotta pee? Everybody has to fucking talk about that as evidenced
car.
on piss car on Bussin' with the Boys or whatever. So the first visit is to Tiger Tom Pistone, who he's been around NASCAR since the 60s, and
that was
obviously
cool.
is, good first stop. They go to his garage, and they show up, and he's fiddling with some Legends cars. He has this massive warehouse of old parts that are obsolete, and he's just holding on to for whatever reason. So the first thing they end up discovering and talking about is a old Banjo Matthews seat that was used by Ty Scott in the 1987 Daytona 500. Not what I would call a historical piece, but I suppose, I suppose in the sense of, if you're talking about the history of safety and whatnot, because this seat, you look at it and like the right side has like an extra brace and extra padding and stuff on it.
It is a Banjo Matthews seat, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, as far as historical relevance, I don't know if it's something I would pick up necessarily, but Tiger Tom counters at $750, stating that history's got to be worth more money, and they end up agreeing to pay $500 for it.
Well, before they got to Tom Pistone's house, they did actually go to the Hall of Fame for a second, and I noticed something that they missed out on. In front of the Hall of Fame, there was a signboard for the Buffalo Wild Wings. Which, I mean, how could they have known that place would have met an untimely end in the year of our Lord 2026? But, you know, you never know what's going to be a historical artifact when you're walking past it. All things turn to dust, I suppose, and as did the Buffalo Wild Wings. But I got a real kick out of that.
The next thing they stumble across are some old spindles that Tom built for Junior Johnson in late 50s, early 60s. This was very early tech, obviously, in NASCAR. And they talk about the camber and stuff of the car. And the boys offer, or Tom initially throws out $2,500. The boys counter back with $1,500, and they agree to $1,800. So Tom gets credit in the Hall of Fame. He shows off his old helmet and fire suit from like the 60s or 70s, but he doesn't want to sell those. Then they end up spotting a nose from a 1977-78 Oldsmobile that he claims is from Cale Yarborough's one of his those are his 3 championship years, and he claims it's off that and hasn't seen the light of day in 40 years. I don't know. I mean, they kind of, inspect it at the hall later on, which we'll get to, and I don't know if I necessarily believe it's off one of his cars, but if it is, Tom throws out $3,500, which, especially this day and age, you guys aren't sheet metal collectors. Not that I'm a huge sheet metal collector, but I'm at least in that world. And
it's not a bad deal, is it?
No, for something like that, if it's actually, if it had a little more branding and more paint on it, $3,500 would be a hell of a deal. They go back and forth.
They're selling a fucking A-post at Hendrick for like $600 now. So
yeah, I mean, well, Hendrick is ridiculous. Their prices are insane. But yeah, I mean, $2,500, that's worth it, I would say, for a historic car like that. So out of their $7,000 budget, they spent $4,800. So a big chunk of it right off the bat. But again, this is a guy with a lot of actual history.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bunch of crap and a lot of history.
There's also a Kyle Busch stand-up in there, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And they also tried to buy his fire suit, which he would not let go, which was sweet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So next up, they are going to Humpy Wheeler's house, which they very much get a kick out of his name. And my first thought before they even get to his house is, why, of all people, why isn't he just donating stuff to the Hall of Fame?
Well, that was my question to begin with. Like, isn't most of the collection in the NASCAR Hall of Fame donated anyway? Or, like, just on loan?
I mean, it's probably most of it is, but I mean, it's like anything. I mean, a lot of historical stuff got out there before it was historical, and, there are people like me and other these old guys with barns full of shit that they're just sitting on, and, you got to go out and find it. So, yes, a lot of it does get donated, but not everything stays in the hands of the people who first had it, So they go to Humpy's house. And
like it was on Lake Norman.
Yeah. He shows off his replica bootlegger car, which is like a 39 Ford that has a Corvette engine in it. It's got like the fake little moonshine box in the back of the trunk that he's got fake cans of moonshine, which are just water, which they sniff anyways because they're idiots. They end up going in his attic and start digging around through there. And first thing they find is this humidor that's all embossed with different logos that was given to Humpy by the president of R.J. Reynolds, which, obviously, we all know the history of that in the sport. and they ask him for a price, and Humpy throws out $5,000, and they're like, we were thinking $1,000, and no deal made there.
Yeah.
They next find a poster from 1956 from the Shelby Fairgrounds, which was another early NASCAR track. He wants $500 for it. The boys were looking for around $3,000. And so they're starting to get antsy because Humpy is, this is one of those deals. If you watch
they get a deal out of Humpy Wheeler.
Yeah, if you watch the show, this is kind of, another trope of the show. Sometimes they find people that just want to make deals. Other times they find people that, they're hemming and hawing and they want too much money and they have to figure out how to make the deal with the guy. And Humpy is the guy they have to figure out how to make the deal with.
Humpy did say that whatever money he makes from them, he's going to donate to charity.
Yeah. He doesn't need the money.
No.
So then Frank ends up finding a bottle of tequila that, I forget who they said it was. Maybe the president of the Mexico track or something. I can't remember who it was. But this massive bottle of tequila that he tries to buy for $200, and Humpy shoots that down also. But they end up, as Mike says, Frank goes into bundle mode, or whatever the fuck he does, and he ends up coming up with this combo where they pay $600 for the poster, the tequila, and then a name plaque from Humpy's desk, which they only ask $50 for, which that to me I would have paid more for.
Yes.
Knowing who Humpy Wheeler is, but make a little deal for $600. Then Humpy also agrees to lend the humidor to the Hall of Fame. So,
there it is.
They get it anyways. The last guy they go and visit was a guy named Billy Briscoe, who Tiger Tom gave him the lead on. And he was a guy that, he talks about his history. Basically just a NASCAR fan that, went to the track and tried to get a job with somebody. He ended up, doing running jobs for like Bobby Allison and Mario Rossi. And that eventually led him to a gig on Richard Petty's team, which I did a little research, and he was like a fabricator and pretty good at his job, apparently. But he comes out and he starts fucking with the guys immediately. He puts grease in his palms to shake his hands and stuff, and he's kind of acting like he's annoyed with these guys just showing up on his property, which he walks out of his garage with the fucking battery pack and microphone on already. So magic of television. The first thing they go and look at, and which I should also say, this guy, I believe this guy is still alive, and I want to make a phone call to him and go visit his property because he has a lot of shit in there I'd love to go through. But the first thing they go over is a couple of Bobby Womack helmets, which if you're like me and watch a lot of random 80s NASCAR races, that's a name you might recognize. But he was just an independent guy that, he was around racing forever, but he obviously didn't really do anything in NASCAR. These helmets are just shitty old, logo-less helmets. There's no stickers on them or anything, and they get 2 helmets for $125, which Mike says Bobby Womack was the true essence of NASCAR, a pioneer. I'm like, I don't think that's the case, but that's fine.
I also like that this dude is wearing a Red Dirt Rising hat, which, by the way, another movie that we could watch on this show. It's about racing in the Moonshine era. Yes, it came out in 2011. And, add that to the list of things to get disappointed by.
Right after we watch Alabama Dirt.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Frank then pulls up a box that is a battery additive, which is, I've never heard of that before. What the hell do you put in batteries? But it's like one of the first driver-endorsed pieces of memorabilia with Lee Petty on it, and he gets that for.
This was the coolest thing they found.
Yeah, $25. This guy is undervaluing his collection, which is another reason why I want to get to him. $25 for that, which is pretty cool. We see a brief glimpse of the Davey Allison chili. He still has a fresh can of that.
Fresh.
And then he pulls out this Bobby Allison Darlington qualifying record plaque from 1978 that Bobby gifted him. He says it's one of his most prized pieces. and he doesn't sell it. He ends up giving it to the guys as a loaner item. Like, there you go, Rob. There's a loaner item.
Yeah. Thank you.
To put in the museum. But then finally, they go into his another part of the garage, and there's like sheet metal. I see some Bill Elliott sheet metal on the wall and a few other pieces. And they go to this 43 door that looks nothing like anything Richard Petty ever actually drove. You know, when they started talking about this, I went and did research. Going back to Richard's first ever 43 car, there was never a 43 car that he drove that looked like this, ever. Even his first couple cars, they didn't look like the 43 we all know. Like, those 43s came around in like the late 50s, early 60s. But even then, that same stylized 43 was almost the same as it is today. So where this door came from, what it's from, I have no fucking idea. He claims it's a Richard Petty door from like 66, 67, which it's not. Like, you cannot find a matching photo of that 43 anywhere. Even claiming it's a Richard Petty door, he sells it to him for $600. Like first he wants $7 and they negotiate down to $6. Which, if this was actually a Richard Petty door, you should add a 0 to that. It's not. Like, it's not. I just, it is
Hold
not.
on now.
Listen, well, I know we're going to get to the Hall of Fame. It's not. Unless you pull up a picture right now, because I could not find one, that is not a Richard Petty door.
1967 Motor Trend 500. It's the only time. Anyway, continue.
Send me that photo.
It's also beat the hell, and as Mike is taking it out of the shop to load it in the van, he bangs it into the door really hard too. So.
Yeah, you send that photo, Rob, because I don't believe you. I need proof.
I mean, I've never seen this before either. I'm learning along with everyone, so hang on here.
So yeah, they get this door. And then they end up looking at his old race car collection. He has a bunch of old cars from like the 50s and 60s, one of which was a Ralph Earnhardt car from 1953, which was actually cool. And I thought that was going to be something they like try to load out for the Hall of Fame. But nope, they just have Frank and Mike drag race these things, and Frank stalls Ralph's car, and Mike ends up winning in whatever the fuck car he was in.
Yeah. That felt like the most unbelievable part of his collection to me. And then the fact that he let Frank drive it. I was like, what the? What?
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, out of their $7,000 budget, they came in $350 under budget. So good job, guys. They get back to the Hall of Fame, and they have a couple curators and museum people. Hold on, Rob is.
No, that's not it. Don't do that.
Yeah, didn't even send the fucking photo.
Here we go.
So they're going over the stuff, and they praise the seat and the spindles. They say the nose is authentic because the guy like pulls up a corner of the sheet metal and it's like, oh, that's blue paint, that's Busch paint, that's definitely authentic. Okay, again, I don't know if I necessarily believe it, but okay. Rob is picture. Okay, kind of looks like it. Kind of looks like it, but I don't know. I'm still on the fence. Because that's a new one for me.
This was, if not the only time, one of the only times they ever ran a different number. One comment from a guy named Kevin Ryan here in the comments section on this Facebook page I found it on says, I'm pretty sure he wrecked that car in practice and had to have a body shop out there repaint it. Therefore, the different font.
Okay, so that might be true. Now I have to go back to this video and look at this door again to see. Because you might, but that might be it. So that is a little piece of history they missed, if that's the case.
It is. Which, it's rare as shit. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
I was surprised that I found something just now.
Okay. So yeah, well, maybe they do have something.
We'll post that on the Instagram post for the episode here, and you guys can decide.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, they're going over the stuff here. I'm gonna pull my notes back up here. Praise the spindles and seat. They don't really say anything about the helmets, which isn't a surprise. And they say, and again, they say the door is authentic. And now that Rob has provided some evidence, now I'm starting to question my own beliefs. But
Well, they all three clap for the door when he brings it in too.
yeah. But yeah, so then afterwards, the boys themselves kind of just, you see them like playing video games and trying to do the pit crew challenge at the Hall of Fame. And then they're just putting all the shit they bought into like rollout cases that are just in the lobby. So they just wanted to get that stuff out there as soon as possible, I guess.
There was a couple things that they didn't talk about in the show that they had picked too, like that Dell Senior Olympic whatever the fuck, and there was a Benny Parsons
a print or whatever. I mean,
beret.
Yeah, I didn't even see that, but yeah, overall I enjoyed this. Somehow, I'm sure I probably watched this at some point in my life, but I didn't have any recollection of it. But I mean, yeah, I've always loved pickers, and you know, they've had racing stuff on the show many times, and I always get a kick out of that. So I enjoyed this. It was probably one of the most, you know, easy watches we'll have all year. Yeah. Any final thoughts from you guys?
Not particularly. Again, I enjoyed it. Have you ever gone to their shop in Nashville?
No, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard it's just like overpriced shit from the show, basically. I think my parents have gone.
That's exactly what it is.
I went a handful of years ago, and it was really neat to walk through there. It didn't really seem like much was for sale. It felt more like a, hey, look at this cool shit that we have. There was a really cool George Jones jacket in there that, you know, no one could ever afford. But it's closed now. It closed last year, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well then. Well, I'll never know. That's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've always loved pickers too. Like, I used to watch it a ton. I feel like I've slacked off the past couple years because they started showing too many, like, montage episodes of past episodes, and I don't care about that shit.
Then they started, like, Frank was off the show, and then they had other people doing stuff, and that's when I kind of lost interest in it. But
I do feel like, I mean, the stuff that they found is neat if you're a fan, but I didn't feel like anything that they found was Hall of Fame worthy to blow $7,000 on.
I mean, even the Petty Door is interesting in the sense that if it is this one particular car that Rob has found a photo of, like, that's neat, but it's also like it's such a weird one-off that, like, it doesn't have as much historical value to it in the sense that it would go in the Hall of Fame. Like, it's a cool thing if you're a Petty collector, or if you had, like, say if that was in the Petty Museum maybe, but not necessarily the NASCAR Hall of Fame, you know. But yeah, fun watch. So, videos of the week this week, we've got 3. Well, only one of them is going to make you say that. So, this week, we didn't talk about it, but this is Jimmie Johnson's final weekend of NASCAR starts. He stated at the beginning of the year that he was going to do the 500 and the San Diego race, and that was it. So I know he's doing trucks. Is he doing Busch too, or no?
I thought it was just trucks.
Just trucks, I think, yeah.
Well, he's doing Cup also, but I mean, you know.
Right.
I picked a couple videos about Jimmie Johnson. The first one is his first ever Mickey Thompson Stadium truck win from 1994. It's just the main event, so it's only 8 minutes. Unfortunately, there's no post-race interview. I might add in a 4th video that's just a minute-long interview of Jimmie winning some other race, just so we can see baby Jimmie Johnson. The second video I picked, when also looking for Jimmie Johnson stuff, President Obama looks under the hood of Jimmie Johnson's car.
Where at?
White House, right?
At the White House. He went to the White House.
Okay. Gotcha.
Like, there's a bunch of different Obama and Jimmy videos, but I just picked this one.
That's because he won every fucking championship while he was president.
Yeah. And the final video that I picked, so I know I've talked early in the season about watching a lot of NASCAR card box breaks. There it is. That's what I was looking for. And the other night I was watching this video and it just made me really laugh because one thing about like watching box breaks has kind of become one of my guilty pleasures for the last year.
Cool.
And
Hell yeah.
it's like some of these guys, some of them are
someone.
a few, some of them are like clearly into NASCAR and know what they're looking at and know who they're talking about. Some of them are just card guys and just like buy cards and open them on stream. And I think that's what this guy is. And I was watching this the other night and he was getting all the names wrong and I was laughing my ass off watching it. And he was getting excited about cards like I wouldn't even look twice at. And so yeah, we're going to watch that. A guy named Lazy Rips, 2026 Donruss NASCAR Mega Box.
Yeah.
Better than
How high were
expected.
you when you watched this the other night?
Pretty high. It's pretty high.
Man, this box breaking thing has taken over North Carolina like a fucking plague. I don't understand it.
I get it because it's basically gambling. I will never get into it. Like I'm intrigued by it and I enjoy watching other people do it, but like I'm not spending $500 on a box.
I'm getting
of
like
cards in my
whatnot
book.
links from people. Like it's like I can't do this.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to. So yeah, those are the videos of the week next week. And yeah, I'm trying to think. So yeah, NASCAR, as I mentioned, is in San Diego this weekend. This is going to be a one and done at what the hell naval base are they at? Or
Coronado Island.
Fuck? Yeah. I'm definitely hoping a car goes into the water. I doubt it'll happen, but like that's my number one hope for the weekend is maybe in trucks or Xfinity or something. Somebody will go in the water. But
if it does happen and when it's Jesse Iwuji, just don't sit there and film him as he drowns, folks. It's not very nice.
Which race is he in? Busch?
The Busch race.
I think it's Busch.
Right?
I think so.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what the hell else
Why not?
he'd be in. But yeah, I don't know. Rob's going to be doing stuff. Ashley, you're not. Are you going to any racetracks or doing any racing stuff?
Me and Andy might go to Dixie Speedway this weekend.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's their truck fest, so there's going to be big rig racing, so
Fuck yeah, you gotta go.
yeah. We're going to try to go.
Cool. Well, I mean, there's a slim chance I go to Wayne County on Saturday, but I don't know if that'll actually happen. But
Just bring your flak jacket.
yeah. So yeah, as always, you can follow us on Instagram and on YouTube at meetmeatapplebees. I am Speedway Screens on all the things. SpeedwayTSJ.etsy.com is the shop, and MMA Applebees at checkout for 15% off.
Still Snake Mountain _ True Love. I have nothing to promote, but I do want to promote Andy's YouTube again. It's Andy Sapp, SAPP, on YouTube. He added some more old fan cam film footage.
He keeps putting heaters out.
And the one that he put out this past week was the 1964 Indy 500 fan footage. And I think tomorrow he's going to put up some 1964 IndyCar footage from the Illinois State Fairgrounds. So
Get the fuck out of here.
it's pretty neat stuff. So if you're into that, it's Andy Sapp on YouTube.
You gotta send that to the IMS museum.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So
Yeah, definitely follow that. It's good shit. I can't wait to see this new stuff. Well, old stuff, I guess. Rob Motes _ unofficial on Instagram. My band's called These Wild Plains. Like I said, I will be up in Bangor, Maine at RCS PBB HB&T Speedway for the Granite State Pro Stocks. Also at Claremont on Friday night for the return of the Modified Racing Series, or the Mrs. Series, as I like to call it. They will be running on Claremont on Friday. First time we've had Modifieds on the out the Snake Pit this year. So very excited for this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully Mother Nature cooperates. Looks like a solid 40% chance of rain across the whole weekend. So hopefully we're not driving up to Maine for nothing. But, hey, it's fucking vacation land and there's a casino. So maybe we'll have us a good time no matter what happens. But if you happen to be either one of those places, come say what's up, and we'll have a beer.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Cool. Well, looks like the check is here. So thanks for joining us again at Applebee's, and we'll talk to y'all next week.